Hey everybody, so we are going to talk today about shame, memory, and body image. So shame and memory are interconnected, okay? And so I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she was talking about something called the Mandela effect, which I had no idea what it was, because it's not science-based, it's theory-based. And some science is theory, but it's not science-based at all. But it's fine because it's just, okay, and it's possible, but there's a scientific explanation for the theory which debunks the theory. But this is important because it goes into shame and it goes into body image. So in a nutshell, the Mandela effect is basically that there's like kind of this time warp, basically. So what we remember is, let's just say that we remember something happening, and now we find out what we remembered as a collective is not true at all. So we were all wrong. And now we're like, oh, wait a minute. So the theory of the Mandela effect is basically like, well, obviously there's a time warp because we can't explain it any other way. So obviously it's something else. So this is why that's dangerous, okay? People prone to believing that are very, very shame-based. And let me tell you why. And let me tell you why this is important and why that is something that we need to study to understand shame. I want you to go back and I want you to think about all of the times that perhaps somebody said something bad to you, or you felt bad about yourself because of how somebody treated you. It could be a mom who is narcissistic, and there's several of you here that had moms that were narcissistic or fathers that were narcissistic. Some of you had alcoholic, addicted parents. Some of you had abuse. Some of you had all of that. You could have had a narcissistic husband, boyfriend. You might be in a relationship with a narcissist, or you might be a narcissist. So there are people here who are technically narcissists. So what happens if you are hearing through your whole life that you're wrong, okay? That you're not good enough, that you're not pretty enough. You start to believe it because you don't have anything else to counter that with. If you're a child especially, or if you have low self-esteem or you're vulnerable. So when you're in shame, you're incredibly vulnerable. So guilt means you did something wrong, okay? Shame means I am wrong, I'm broken. So let's go forward. Humiliation is they did something to me and I'm angry, I'm hurt, but I'm realizing that they did something. That doesn't mean if you're in humiliation that you negated shame. It just means you're also feeling humiliation. Embarrassment is people are judging me. Now, if you do not feel good about who you are, if you look in the mirror and you don't like your body, or you feel like you have to wear makeup in order to be accepted, or you're ugly without it, so you're not using it just to enhance, you're actually using it as a shield, okay? It's a shame shield, your makeup. If that is the case, then you're in a place where you are not feeling comfortable with who you are. You're not feeling that you can believe anything positive about yourself, or something's positive. You might think you're intellectual, but you have a bad body image, or that you're, and that's a lot of the women that I see are they are very bright, very talented, and they have this horrible body image. And body image struggles have nothing to do with how much you weigh. In fact, it's interesting because some people that I know will say, well, I need to lose weight, but look at, they have such a great shape, and they compare other people. They even look at other men and say, you look great, you probably never had to struggle. But what is struggle? Is struggle what you feel your problem is, or is struggle internal? Because I know that struggle's internal. So when we say, oh, they didn't have to struggle, that's really relative. And that's also very narcissistic because you're assuming that how you feel is very isolated and different than their feelings. So how does shame and memory come together, and why does the Mandela effect, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more, what's the science behind that? So there's something called confabulation. And so that basically means chatting together. It's just a Latin kind of a fragment that means that, but in psychology, that term means a group of people are discussing something and they're in a belief system. So to give you a really good idea about this, take whatever you believe in spirituality, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Judaism, whether it's atheism, whether it's just some spiritual kind of vibe, non-denominational, but the Bible, whatever it is that you believe, okay? I want you just to soak into that and think about your belief system. Why do you believe what you believe? If you never had heard of it, if you never have heard whatever it is, if atheism wasn't an option, if Jesus wasn't an option, if you never heard those words, what would you really believe? And a lot of you will not be able to wrap your head around that. And that's because of confabulation. So let's go a step further and let's look at something you really don't believe that is external to you. So let's just go into politics. If you're in the United States and you're a very Democrat, I want you to look at Republicans and what do you feel? Do you feel that some of the issues that people are at odds with you with or that you don't connect to, do you feel that they're wrong and you're right? So when we have differing opinions on something, that is actually part of a belief system. Okay, because there really is no such thing. Republican and Democrat, it's not a thing. So it's not like a thing. It's a belief system. It's a belief system that is based upon how you feel and what serves you and what feeds your belief system. So if I believe in healthcare and I believe that more people should have healthcare, I might lean more towards Democrat because being Democrat is feeding my belief system. So if I'm feeling like I need hope and I need something spiritual outside of me, I might lean towards some types of religions. If I feel that science is the way, I might lean towards atheism. Now, this is really important because it goes into how you really feel about yourself, your body image, and how you feel if you're in life purpose even. So if you do not feel, you're not going to be able to make sense of it. And when people can't make sense of things, they fill in the blanks. Now, there's something called memetics, which is why on Facebook you'll see a lot of memes, okay? A meme is a picture with something funny written on it or something, and it goes viral. It's a meme, okay? And a meme is an idea. It's not a really thing. It's not a thing. It's not like, it's not selling anything. It's just an idea. So the idea might be something ironic or just something funny or witty, whatever. It's a meme. Memetics is a bunch of people or a confabulation coming together and everybody's agreeing on something. And so if we all agree on it, it must be right. And so if it must be right and other people are confirming that my belief and their belief aligns, then we feel connected, and feeling connected is part of survival. That's why groups, support groups, churches, all of that do well because it feeds our need for survival. And that's why isolation is really detrimental to us. Put the pieces together in a way that they can't right now, but if they have hope, they can look at hope like a beautiful star, okay? And they can look at that and they can go towards that. So they might be, just imagine AA or an eating disorder support group, if you can get the idea of that. Imagine people from all different walks of life in a huge line. And they're in all different states of health and everything else. But there's a star way out in the distance. They can all walk towards and work towards the same star. And they will feel more and more connected the closer they get, okay? Now, this is where we're going to go back, go to your childhood. And so if you're in your childhood and you're feeling like, you know, people made you feel bad. People made you feel like your creativity was wrong or your body was wrong or pretty was a certain thing. And if you weren't that thing, then you weren't pretty. You're going to believe it. And the more people around you that believe it, so if you come from a really toxic family or a family that's really angry or doesn't talk, you're going to think, well, this is how my family is. And even if you notice that other people are different, you're still going to feel like that's what I am. You're going to have a level of shame. And you're going to have maybe humiliation, embarrassment, just guilt, all of these different feelings wrapped up. Now, if you don't understand those feelings, You're going to puzzle together whatever you can to make a new reality, okay? And this is where the mandala effect connects to this. If you don't understand something, if for years you thought a movie line was something, like say it's like, I don't know, there's so many things, like let's just say play it again, Sam. Okay, something like that. Whether or not that really happened, it doesn't matter. It's a mimetic, it's a confabulation that people accept it, that that's what the movie line was. It doesn't matter that that's not what the movie line was. In context, we understand what they're talking about. It might not have been the exact thing. There could be misspellings, there could be all different types of things happening, and if we say that this is what it is, then that becomes a belief system. In fact, our dictionary and our language evolves because of that. So it doesn't mean that 17th century English didn't exist because we do something different now. It just means that we've all agreed that we're going to go in a different direction. And it doesn't mean that anything in the past was wrong. It just means it went into a different direction. Now, this really matters for your body image and your sense of self. If your body image and your sense of self is that, and when I say sense of self, I mean your life purpose, your happiness. If you feel like in some way you're broken or you're a label, a lot of people will go to a doctor and they get just a label pasted on their forehead because the pharmaceutical company, of course, likes that. And it's just a way for other people to have a context, a conceptualization of what you are and what to do with this ball of human being and beautiful spirit. They don't know what to do with it. So they have to say, you're bipolar, you're depressed, you're anxious. But you're not any of those things. They're just behaviors. You are who you are. So if we believe that we are only, or our shame shield is that we're fat, we're ugly, we are a child of an addiction, we are a woman of a narcissistic relationship, we are bipolar, whatever. If we believe that shame shield, we will not be able to look in the mirror because there is a shame shield in front of us. Just like if we have the mandala effect and that theory of the mandala effect, if we believe that to be true, we want to believe then. We will start to construct that this is a truth, and therefore it couldn't possibly be that we just got lazy and didn't check facts and took other people's word for it. But we do that all the time. So when we are just taking other people's ideas and adopting them as our own so easily, that means we are so easily adopting what other people say about us. And so when we have that, we are looking in the mirror and there's a shame shield in front of us. So the only way to take the shame shield down and to look in the mirror and be happy with who we are and to be aware of our life purpose and to be aware of what we need to do and to have the motivation to do it is to actually say, and I just say, who hurt me, and make a fist. How do I feel from it? And I want you to tense up. I want your biceps to curl up. I want everything to happen. And I want you to really make a fist here. And then when you feel like you can't hold on to that anymore, and it might be a couple of minutes, it might be a couple of seconds, release and relax. I'm not saying you're going to get over shame or any of those feelings immediately, but it's going to start to help you, because what we've just done is we've put the mental and the physical together. And when you put the emotional, the mental, and the physical together, your body has no chance and no choice of holding on to that negativity. Because you can sit there like this and then relax, but you're not going to say, who hurt me and what did they make me feel? And then hold on to the tension. You're going to, at some level, even if you're a tense person in the moment, you're still going to relax. It's still going to feel like a relief to literally let go. It's still going to feel good. And because you're doing that, you're going to build new neurons that are going to say like, okay, I can let go of that. I don't need the shame shield. And I know it sounds like a really simple thing, but if you just do it every day, look in the mirror, look in your eyes and see who you are, not what has been done to you, not what has been said to you, not what you think, not theories of what you think you are, but start to learn who you are, because you're probably going to be very surprised at how amazing you are. And like I said on my I do love you guys because I do feel like we are interconnected, and I'm not just BSing that. And I'm not a warm fuzzy, okay? So like, you know, we're not going to hug. We're not going to pick out curtains together. I'm an air kisser and all of that. But I do love you guys. And I do feel that we are interconnected. And I think it's really important to raise the vibration of everybody. And I think it's important that as individuals, if you're in this group, and that you're here for a reason. And I feel like it's my job, my obligation, my duty, and my honor to share whatever I can to help you feel better. All of therapy is about, I'm not happy. I mean, no matter what it is. Okay, you got raped, you got beat with, you know, whatever, a bat, you were betrayed, your parents were alcoholics. Well, how do you feel? Well, I feel not happy. Okay, so let's just get down to brass tacks and let's just lift that and get happy and have fun doing it. So although this was maybe more, you know, I do a lot of serious stuff, but you know, this exercise, like who hurt me, what do I feel, and hold on to it and then let it go. And I'm not saying that you're going to just let it go. You're letting go of some of the tension attached to the thought. And when you let go of the tension attached to the thought, part of the thought leaves. You start to be able to own that that thought doesn't really matter. And then when you let that go, you can look in the mirror and feel like, oh, well, if that's not there, I need to fill myself up with who I really am. And as you get let go of the shame shield, who you really are starts to just organically happen. So don't stress out over that. It just organically happens. You start to not really care. So whether it's your husband, your mom, a boyfriend, it does not matter because it's not you making them happy anymore. It's about you being authentic in who you are and knowing that you're of worth. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. And let me know if this was helpful. You can either post below or just inbox me or text me, whatever you have, you know, just let me know. So bye.